Hi there. We are on day 6 of our New Year Healthy Habits series. We're talking about the 5th pillar of lifestyle medicine today, which is restorative sleep. So how much sleep do we actually need? This differs based on our age. So for infants and young children, the guidelines recommend 14 to 17 hours of sleep per night, usually broken up into a handful of sleeping sessions. For teenagers, where their brains and bodies are actively growing really fast and using up a lot of energy, guidelines recommend 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night. For adults 18 to 64, 7 to 9 hours per night. And then as we age, it actually decreases ever so slightly, 7 to 8 hours per night. As we age, our circadian rhythm, which is our 24-hour clock, advances. So that means we tend to go to bed earlier as well as waking up earlier in the day. And as we age, sleep disorders tend to become a little bit more common, such as sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, insomnia, as well as the urge and the need to wake up during the night frequently to use the restroom. Sleep is separated into multiple sleep stages, and these also differ as we age. So stage 1 sleep is light sleep, and this tends to be about 5% of our total sleep in young adults, really just as we're falling asleep for the night. However, this stage increases to up to 25% as we age. Stage 2 is our stable sleep, which tends to be about 50% of our total sleep, and this tends to be pretty consistent throughout our lifetime. Stage 3 is our deep sleep, which is a really essential stage of sleep needed for immune function, growth, physical restoration, and really all of the restorative properties of sleep happen during this sleep stage. And this tends to be about 15 to 20% of our daily night sleep as we're young and decreases as we get older. And then REM sleep, this is our dream state. This is a state of active brain energy, as well as usually paralysis of our muscles. So this can be up to 20 to 25% in young adults, and again, tends to decrease as we age. I want to take a moment and do an introduction to evidence-based medicine and take a look at this study. So the study is titled, Sleep Restoration is Associated with Reduced Plasma C-Reactive Protein and Depression Symptoms in Military Personnel with Sleep Disturbance After Deployment. So what does this actually mean? What is this study actually talking about? So the study compares two groups of military personnel who have returned from deployment. The first group has high scores in something called the PSQ, or Sleep Quality Index, indicating sleep dysfunction. So a high score is high sleep dysfunction. And the second group has a low score, which indicates low sleep dysfunction or higher quality sleep. And there were 34 and 32 individuals in each of these groups, respectively. Each group or each individual in each group had specific measured values taken. These were inflammatory biomarkers, significantly interleukin-6 and C-reactive protein, which are both markers of stress and inflammation in the body. The results of this study showed that the restorative sleep group, or the group with low PSQ index scores, had significant reductions in CRP concentrations as well as depression symptoms, as well as subjectively reduced fatigue and improvements in emotional well-being, social functioning, and physical functioning at follow-up. So these individuals were followed over the course of 6 months, and these markers and as well as questionnaires were given, really demonstrating the power of restorative sleep in this vulnerable population of military personnel with sleep disturbance after deployment. I want to also do an introduction to something called sleep hygiene. So sleep hygiene is really our environment and our routine leading up to going to bed. So sleep hygiene is composed of consistency, which is consistent times of going to bed. So really keeping our circadian rhythm and our 24-hour clock relatively consistent. It also includes our wind down routine. So what do we do for the hours leading up to go to bed? Our technology, are we on our phones? Are we watching TV? Or maybe are we not using technology leading up to going to sleep? It also includes our environment. So especially during the COVID pandemic, a lot of people who were forced to work from home started working from home from their physical beds. And that associated their bed with work and not so much with sleep. And really altering the environment of your bed and your bedroom can have a significant impact on your sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene also includes your habits. So habits throughout the day. If we're sedentary for the majority of our day, we may not feel tired and we may not feel like we need sleep at the end of the day. Versus if we're active and exerting energy throughout the day, we will experience fatigue towards the end of the day, and sleep will become really necessary for us. So we'll talk a little bit more about sleep hygiene in week 4 as well, but just a little introduction. And again, at the end of every video this week, I've been challenging you to kind of take action on the pillar that we learn about this day. And so today we learned about restorative sleep. So I challenge you to maybe pick one of these activities of sleep hygiene, habits, technology, consistency, and for the next couple of days, try and implement that in your life and see if it can help with your sleep consistency and sleep routine. And here are my resources. All right, see you tomorrow, everyone. Have a good day.